Good morning. It is Tuesday, September 20th. Tuesday, my favorite day of the week. Let's look at the markets. And I don't think today is going to actually be my favorite day. The markets are in a holding pattern for Bank of Japan, FOMC, and so I don't think there's going to be any activity. Crude is moving to the downside this morning. Weekly, daily, 60-15, all in the red. And got some other markets moving directionally. Yesterday was a very bizarre day. We were in a transition. We had several markets, weekly, daily, 60-15, going in one direction, just like gold is right now, but it's positive. So that shows that there's a market in transition. So the markets are transitioning. Anytime you have weekly, daily, 60-15, but the net result is positive, the markets are about ready to shift around. Nobody knows which direction to go in. So everybody's in a holding pattern. So expect very limited trades today. And it might be a day to polish your strategy and get ready for the big meeting tomorrow. Unless crude continues moving down and we could reach a lower level easily and then come back into the value. But I just don't think next week is going to be a big meeting out of OPEC. It's almost a guarantee that they're going to be making some sort of an announcement that they're going to agree to a production cut. Right now, that they're not. They're producing as much as possible. That's why oil's slipping this morning. But they're going to have a fight on their hands at that meeting next week unless they do a production cut. Venezuela cannot get any worse. The country's in very dire situation with the low oil prices. So the Fed needs the inflation. They need the oil prices to be propped up. So there's a lot of factors out there, I guess you can call them factors, that do not allow me to see this going too much further to the downside. We're in a range, we're flat, and if I take this yellow drawing object off my chart, you can see that we're sitting on the weekly volatility band. So it might flush some stops that are sitting below this candle. But I think that we're not going to see too much more of a down move. And it's just going to start ranging back up until next week's meeting. On the daily, we've gotten below. We sat there on this daily volatility band. We're tipping below it. But again, I don't think it's going to run all the way down to 41.39 by any stretch of the imagination. I would just be waiting for a daily close above the previous close and start looking long, in my opinion. But that's just, and you can't trade my opinion. Trade what you see on the charts. This could just flush down to 30. Who knows? I mean, who knows? But there's just so much going on in the world right now that I just don't think this is going to get too low. And I go by my super trend bands. This is telling me do not take a short right here. So I'm not going to press my shorts at this time. It's probably going to get back into the value for the open. So this down move, for all intents and purposes, in my opinion, is over until we get the market to open, bounce off this trend line. So we'll see what happens. Don't forget to register on the website for the webinar tomorrow, where we'll be taking some trades live in the FOMC meeting. So the registration link's here on the website under the events tab, events calendar. And we'll see how that, again, that could be a big snoozer too. As everybody pretty much has decided that they're not going to raise rates, and they'll jawbone up rates like they did last month, the last meeting, where Dudley said that things are looking normalized for a possible rate cut. So I would expect to hear some more of that language. But I went back to look at those previous announcement as far as the market activity, and it was sort of blasé on that release, so I'm not expecting a whole bunch, but we'll trade it live anyway. So we'll see you tomorrow, and thank you so much. Y'all be careful in the markets today.